Welcome, welcome, and good evening, everyone. My name is Niki Lopez of Niki Lopez Creative, and you're watching The Circle, where every Tuesday, 8:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm talking to artists, activists, social entrepreneurs, people doing great things in the world today. And today, I'm super excited to have a very special guest and friend, Marley Q. Casanova. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just really quickly, I see some comments coming through. Marley Q is the CEO of Marley Q LLC, founder of Park Project, and speaker and a teacher. And so you're an inspirational speaker, teacher, event coordinator with a mission to be the spark that inspires people to perform acts of random kindness. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. We have a couple people, G, saying greetings to everyone. So where do we begin? What came first? Because I know you do it quite a bit.
So, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yes.
So, I think we had the awesome pleasure of meeting through one of my events.
Yes.
I believe it was one of the either Women's Success Summits that I produced a couple years ago, where we had first connected, and in the awesome world that is, all of our circles of connections, we've managed to stay connected and seen each other grow in our businesses and our creative endeavors. And I'm just so grateful that you reached out to me to do this tonight. Thanks.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that, you said we watch each other grow, right? Because I remember the Women's Summit, Badass Business Women. I used to go to attend a lot of different like workshops and things like that in Miami, and we'd cross paths. So I remember when you did this Spark, and I actually attended one of the runs a few years back.
You did?
Yes, yes,
great.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, that was our signature event. Our 5K Park Fest was really the first kind of baby that I got to create on my own when I started my business. So that was about in 2011 is when that started, and we did that for a couple of years. So thank you so much for participating and supporting in that effort.
Absolutely. And so what is Park? If no one has ever heard about Park Fest, Park, what is it? How do you explain it to people?
Right. If you're listening to this, we're about 2 minutes in, so I'm going to warn you. I love acronyms.
Yes.
And the first one that you'll hear is Park. You'll hear me say that often. It's the acronym and for my mission and our movement, which is to inspire people to perform acts of random kindness. Park. And really my mission, I try to infuse everything that I do as a speaker, as a teacher, and an event creator. I try to infuse everything with that mission to try and inspire other people to perform acts of random kindness for others, but also for themselves and for the world, which desperately needs it, perhaps now more than ever.
Yeah. What is it about kindness that, what inspired you to start it? What is it about kindness that you feel is important?
Well, I did a TED Talk about 2 years ago. I got to first share my story as to how, kindness even became something that I discovered and that I became passionate about. So if anyone watching would like to watch my TED Talk, by all means, check it out. It's called Kindness is Your Superpower. But in a nutshell, I was very privileged, and I feel fortunate to have had really great teachers in my life, starting with my parents. And when I was in elementary school, my 4th grade teacher was really the first person to point out to me that kindness was a superpower. That kindness was something that she observed in me every day. Small acts of kindness she would point out. And she said that that's your superpower. You don't need anything else in order to make a difference in the world. And I believed her. And I was 10 years old. And from that moment forward, I just really began performing acts of random kindness with awareness, with purpose, with really wanting to to make a difference in someone's day, in the world, right? Picking up trash. I felt like I was a planeteer helping Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Just little things, little ways really turned into a practice. It's something that I eventually dedicating my entire life and career to spreading that message of how powerful small acts of kindness can be.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that you say small acts of kindness. Is there a reason to make that distinction?
Well, I really believe that no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. That is a quote from Aesop that many people know from one of his fables. But I'm living proof that it really never goes wasted, it never goes unnoticed. And sometimes we we can feel overwhelmed with wanting to change the world
Mm-hmm.
and make this massive difference and create something that impacts millions of people and creates this massive change in the world, especially when there's so many big issues that we're up against, right? And I
Yeah.
just find that, at least as a kid, I felt a very big pressure with that. I'm like, what can I do? I don't have any money. Nobody, knows me. I barely even speak English. I don't have a car. I don't have power or influence. Like, what can I do? I want to make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
And my teacher just highlighting how small acts of kindness can make a difference in someone's day, in someone's life, and in the world just made all the difference to me. It's almost as if she gave me permission
Mm-hmm.
to make a difference through these small acts of kindness. So I'm all about the big acts of kindness. I mean,
Yes.
hey, if you have $1 million to donate to the cause of your choice, by all means, do so. That is incredibly impactful. But I'm way more passionate about the little daily acts of kindness. I really do believe it's all about the little things.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to take a couple minutes to go through some comments. We have G said, great mission and congrats to the on the TED Talk.
Thank you,
Um,
G.
and we have Tabitha, Park with Marley Q. Hi, yes, we did the park together.
Hi,
Her.
Tabitha. Yeah.
And we have Jill. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us. And Andrew. Hello, you two. And Natalie. Thank you for joining us. And so, for those of you who are joining us, we are live on Facebook on two pages under the Niki Lopez Creative page, as well as Outclick Magazine. And we're also streaming live to YouTube and Periscope. So, getting, I'm just really grateful to be able to get all these
Yeah.
stories and important information out, throughout the interwebs.
Share on your
Yeah.
own pages. Let's get some more people in this party, huh?
Yes, absolutely. So if you're listening live, you could share it to your page, share it to a group, tag people. Lots of great information is always coming out. I enjoy every guest. You're always, every time I see you, you're just like this bubbly sunshine. Like, yes, there, do you ever have a challenging moment, or, or are you always like, yes, I'm a yes, it's bubbly, I'm great, everything's copacetic?
Oh man, I love that question. Nikki, if I had $1, every time someone's asked me that question, I do not wake up, farting rainbows and sunshine. I don't.
Mhm.
Of course I have, bad days and stressful moments. And, I actually, I don't like to say I suffered, but I definitely went through a period of my life where I was chronically stressed and
Mhm.
anxious and worried about everything. And I have only learned how to be cheerful and joyous and positive through practice. It's
Mm.
a practice. First of all, I believe that that spark of positivity, that spark of joy, that spark of kindness is within us all. I
Mhm.
don't care how old you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what your circumstances are, where you were born. None of that matters. Every single one of us has that spark within. I have just had the blessing of finding it early in my life and
Mhm.
practicing it, right?
Mhm.
So in moments where I've been super stressed and burnt out or depressed, I know that I have a superpower that I could come back to in order to fill me back up. And that superpower is kindness. I think that we as humans kind of we we don't want to live in a negative state, but we make that negative state wrong, and we try to distract or deny or dismiss. And the truth is that life and the human condition is, to some extent, suffering and pain and problems. That's part of the human experience. So what we need to learn how to do is just be kinder with ourselves through those experiences, because your happy moments don't last forever either. So your problems don't last forever either. So it's really a practice. To answer your question, no, I am not always super upbeat. You can ask my husband, he's right over there. You can ask my family and those closest to me, but I do know that there's a way to come back to it, right? And in my own practice of self-care and in my own journey of self-care, that's really where I think this new phase of my life as, a wife and a mother who's about to be a mother of two, I'm just really grateful that I started practicing early. Because we could lose our minds and our hair and our sanity very quickly with, spouse and domestic stuff and quarantine and children and being pregnant. It's very easy to have bad days consecutive unless we understand that nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. And if we can just relate to ourselves and each other and the world with a little more kindness, I think that's the way that I stay positive.
Absolutely. That's beautifully said. Amy is saying, hello, ladies.
Hello.
And I see Tamika is saying, we were just talking about superpowers on my interview. Profound, profound. Absolutely. And Tabitha is saying, beautifully said, happiness and joy is an art, a practice.
Yes, ma'am.
And Melanie.
That's Melanie.
Melanie. I know. I'm like, what? Oh, yes. Wow. It's been forever. Thank you for tuning in. Absolutely. And I love that you have gone from, you said you've had those down moments, because I think sometimes people feel that people who are happy or push happiness is, they're always happy. They don't go through things. And you're saying, because of self-care, because of your practice and your commitment to being kind to yourself, and just, and knowing that these things are part of the human experience, it helps a lot with that process.
It really does. Befriending a good friend of mine, somebody who I just interviewed on my podcast recently, said it really beautifully in a way I had never heard it before, is she practices being a parent to our fears, our parent to our problems. So the same way that, I practice kindness as a parent to my child, I would never berate him or criticize or judge him or knock him down and, kick his ass, so to speak, for, failing or doing something. Why is it so difficult to treat ourselves with a little bit of that kindness? And it's difficult only because we don't have practice. It's like a muscle. It's like a muscle. And I'm not great at it still. And I've been practicing for a little while. I'm not the best at it, but I do recognize that that's always my go-to. It's like, oh, well, why am I having such a crappy day? Like, where is it that I'm, kind of beating myself up? Where am I making something wrong? Where am I not, with an open heart with a situation, right? Or in a discussion with someone? Where can I add a little kindness here? Is it listening? Is it maybe putting myself in someone else's shoes? Is it empathy and compassion? There's always, it always comes back to kindness. It always comes back to it.
Absolutely. And so, speaking of kindness, you recently started a podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what made you start it?
Yeah. So my podcast is called Time to Be Kind with Marley Q. And I launched it April 15th, so just about a month ago. 6 episodes in. It's a weekly podcast every Wednesday. And the purpose is to inspire and ignite kindness worldwide. So it is my virtual way of continuing this movement and spreading this message. And, it's been something that was on my shelf for like 3.5 years. This little calling, this little whisper of, you need to use your voice to spread this message in a more powerful way, in a more, I love events. I'm an event creator. I've been producing events for 20 years. I love planning events, bringing people together, inspiring them to participate in the community and in the causes that they care about. And if it's one thing that this COVID-19 and this pandemic made super clear to me, I've got to pivot. Like, I can't plan large gatherings right now.
Yeah.
It was a very humbling moment. I kicked and screamed and resisted. I didn't want to start a podcast, in all honesty. I had all sorts of fears and self-doubt that I had to face and overcome with kindness. Episode number 1 is overcoming self-doubt. And I did that through kindness. And I got to interview the person that kind of coached me. Because sometimes you can't, one of my coaches says it beautifully. You can't see the label of the jar that you're in. So I'm in a jar of delicious honey, but only you can see that the label says it's honey. I think I'm in quicksand and I'm dying. Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
And I sought some help, and I had someone read me the jar, and I'm like, all right, we're just gonna start this. And the time to be kind is now. Like, the time to start that podcast was now. And I had everything that I needed in order to get this started. The only thing I was missing was that little bit of overcoming the self-doubt, was facing it and being kinder with myself and saying, you know what, it might suck in the beginning, which, by the way, it does not. It's awesome. My husband is an Emmy award-winning sound engineer and musician who created the music, who does all of my sound and editing. I have the recording studio in my living room. Not ideal, but that's where it is. And we're making it work. And I am so excited to just be doing this. And the time was now to do it. So I took the plunge, and here we are. A month later, it's going so great. And the feedback that I've been receiving is just so reassuring. It's kind of like you want to kick your butt, being like, why didn't you start that earlier?
Absolutely.
But when I hear that voice, I'm like, no, because the time to start it was now, when I was ready and able to dedicate some time to it.
Well, awesome. Well, congrats on starting that. That's amazing. And I love that you said you've been sitting on it and you're like, hey, why not now? So, everything happens in due time.
In due time. And time.
Yes.
Time. I told everybody I was going to drop some acronyms if I can. I baked in a secret acronym into the title of my podcast. Because if it's one excuse that I would give myself, and that I know some people watching give themselves, when there's something that you want to create, there's something that you want to dedicate your time, energy, and attention to, it's, I don't have time.
Yep.
It's our go-to excuse. I don't have time.
Yep.
Right? So in my own efforts to redefine what time means to me, I turned it into an acronym. Again, for those who are watching that don't know me, I am an event planner. I have spent most of my life obsessed with controlling time. This pandemic has totally
out the window.
Okay, you want to know if I had a couple of bad days? I've had a couple of bad days, with my entire event business crumbling in a matter of a week, with me being forced to think of innovative and different ways to continue doing my mission and continue doing what I love in a virtual way, which really challenges me, which really is not my comfort zone at all. So I redefined time to be nothing more than, this is my experience. Time. This is my experience. So what are you doing with your time?
Yeah.
Are you creating an experience that's pleasant for you, that's joyous, that's fulfilling to you? Or are you spending your time creating an experience that creates self-doubt, worry, stress, and anxiety? Because those things are comfortable to us, believe it or not. They're comfortable to us. Sometimes we rather stay there because we know what that feels like than take the plunge and start something new, like a podcast, and you don't know what's going to happen, right? So time, this is my experience. And what I choose to do with my experience during this health pandemic is really focus all of my energy, not just on my family and my child, my pregnancy, and what I'm going through in my personal life, but also in continuing to spread my message that I'm so passionate about sharing with other people in a virtual way, and face my discomfort with kindness.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to pivot to the comment section a little bit. So we have G
Please,
said,
I love it.
yeah, I love events, miss them bad, bad, bad. Yeah.
Me too.
And Tamika said, pivot, that's it. And also great analogy. And Melanie said, love listening to the Time to Be Kind podcast. So inspired by the message and genuine conversation.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah. And Tabitha, time is a gift we can redefine. Love this. And LaDonna, love that. Yes. Time is
Oh,
my,
I'm so
this is
glad you
my
guys like my
spiritual.
acronym. Keep
Yes,
it,
yes.
share it, use it.
So true. And then Tamika said, you're on to something. And we have Marlon Hill said, love me some Marley Q. Wow.
I feel it now, my people. I feel it. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. Thanks for joining us, Marlon. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's interesting because this pandemic has caused us to pause, whether we like it or not. And so the more you resist it, versus just giving in and making that space. And now you have a podcast that people can enjoy, and shifting to all that virtual stuff. Um, that's really great, because sometimes people get stuck there, or they feel like, oh, it's got to be perfect. Like, I don't have all the equipment, I don't have everything.
Nikki, I'm gonna be completely honest with you and our friends watching. I resisted. I kicked and screamed. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I love my events, my business. I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
This is my livelihood. No, this pandemic needs to stop. We need to find a vaccine. I need to save this. Like, I can't. I
Yeah.
can only do what I can do. So I'm not going to, pretend that it was easy. I had, a little bit of an emotional, meltdown that thankfully, like I mentioned earlier, I know, and I gave myself permission to have that meltdown, to be honest with the fact that I was scared. What the am I gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh my God, I have a baby. I have another baby on the way, and my business is gone. It's like that. What am I gonna do? So I let myself. A previous me would have stayed freaking out for a long time. I gave myself a little bit of time to do that. And I'm like, all right, I believe that everything that happens, there's some kind of gift, there's some kind of lesson, there's some kind of way that I can face it and move forward. I mean, my mom has taught me that, pa'lante. My Cuban mom, that's, if it's one advice, it's pa'lante. Like, you just got to go forward. So how can I go forward? I have all these beautiful projects on the shelf that I just hadn't dedicated any time to. Which one of these do I feel really passionate about? Which one challenges me? Which one am I the most scared to start? And let's look at that. And why am I scared? Because I was being insecure. I was like, I don't like my voice. And what do you have to share with the world? And can you be consistent with it? And all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening to all of it. And I love you. And thank you for protecting me. My beautiful ego. Thank you for protecting me. And wanting to keep me safe. And all of that. And the time to do it is now. So I'm gonna rip it off like a band-aid, and let's just get started and allow it to flow, allow it to develop. And I'm just so, honestly, super proud of myself for doing that, because it wasn't easy. It takes a lot of courage to listen to yourself with kindness and take that first step. That's kindness.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely relate to so many points that you're bringing up. Years ago, I didn't even know that I had to come to the realization that even though I could project all these great stuff and inspiration for other people, my voice to myself lacked kindness. It was super critical, and I still have to, and it's a practice, right? You keep, catching yourself. So I just relate to, what you're saying about, being kind to yourself, and how that's helped you in all these other aspects as well.
How it helps. It's a present tense verb.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yes, that part, it takes courage to listen to yourself, LaDonna. So we have a question from Tabitha. What are some of your go-to strategies, mechanisms when you identify you're in your own way?
That's a great question. Thank you. So as far as practical strategies, it's great that this is being asked. I'm actually taking some time to create a micro course. I want to teach self-care for beginners, people that really don't practice any kind of self-love and kindness, which that's how I define self-care. It's not doing things like, oh, I did my nails today, I put a face mask today, I took a bubble bath today. Like, it's really self-care to me, how I've redefined it through practice so that it actually works with my life. It's not about doing and checking off boxes, did I take care of myself in these ways? It's really more about a practice of being caring with ourselves. Do you have a practice, a routine of showing yourself that you care about yourself, that you care about how you feel, that you care about how you look, that you care about what you eat, that you care about yourself, right? In all of these different ways, there's a plethora of them. So I'm creating a micro course to help people just kind of get started with that, with some few practical ways. So the one that I'm more than happy to share here, because I'm creating it, so I'm excited to share. Step 1, breathe.
Yeah.
And it sounds, and I loved your reaction that you laughed, because it sounds so simple. It sounds so trivial, right?
But it's big.
And we started off our conversation by saying that I'm really all about the small things. And that the small things is what has the greatest power, I believe, in our lives to really make transformation happen. And you're always breathing, my friend. Right now, watching this, we're breathing. So just take a moment to notice that you're breathing. How do you notice that you're breathing? Maybe say to yourself, I am breathing. And actually feel your breath rushing in. And the part that I love the most is feel it going out, all the way out. And do that at least 3 to 5 times mindfully, purposefully, actually feeling and being aware of your breath. Soften your face. Try to soften your body. Smile. Say, and feel thankful for that breath. For nothing else. If everything else in your life is absolute darkness and crap right now, you have the power right now, in this moment, and in every moment, until your last breath, to feel and be aware of your breathing. And allow that to be one of the small things in your life that could always bring a smile to your face and that you could always be grateful for. And the reason that that's really important to me, Niki, is, and maybe I'm fortunate to have, had to carry the burden of asthma when I was young. And I still have asthma to this day. So I have a very intimate relationship with my breath. Because I know what it's like not to breathe. I know what it feels like to be out of breath. And it's not a good feeling. It is a bigger problem than any other problem. And so many people right now with COVID-19 are feeling. And when I think about the world and I think about people that are suffering right now, I try to breathe life into people. That's what I think inspiration is. That's why I allowed myself to receive this title of inspirational speaker. Because to me, I try to breathe life into my own life. Inspiration. Inspire. Inspire yourself with your breath. So I'll give you that one little nugget, because if I give you a ton of other nuggets, it'll be too much of strategies and practical tips and tools. I'm only going to give you one, my beautiful friend that asked. Practice becoming more aware of and grateful for your breath. It makes a profound difference. And you're doing it all the time. You don't need any extra time. You don't need any money. You don't need any energy. You're doing it. All it takes is a little bit of awareness. Pay attention to that fact that you're breathing. When you're really stressed, when you're just try to direct your attention. And that's a practice of mindfulness. That's why I love yoga. That's why I fell in love with yoga. I was the anti-yogi. 10 years ago, you would have told me that I was going to be a yoga teacher. I'd laugh in your face. I'm like, I am way too hyper. I'm not flexible. And now I'm like, I'm a yoga teacher. I've taught over 300 classes. And it's crazy to me. And it's because yoga taught me to love my breath, taught me how to breathe, taught me to come back to it over and over again. And just that alone
Yes.
is a beautiful tip.
Absolutely. And we have Tamika said, it sounds so also simple the way you break it down. Love it and very inspiring.
Thank
So
you so much.
absolutely. And if you're on Facebook, we have in the comment sections, I've been putting in some of the links to Marley Q, so to her podcast, to her Instagram. So definitely connect to her, to Marley Q and We Park, to find out what she has going on. And I'm looking forward to that series. I love that, So it's just
Very
interesting how,
soon, very soon,
yes,
very
yes,
soon.
absolutely. So what if Marley Q's website had a spam me button? I would put in my email so fast. Please share how we can connect to all these goodies you shared from the podcast and of course the self-care.
That's hilarious. So first, spamming is super unkind. So I will never spam you. I would invite everybody that is watching, that shares, whether it's live or later on, to join my kind crew. My kind crew, and that's with a Q, QREW. My kind crew is a community of people that perform acts of random kindness. Parkers, as I like to call them. Parkers are people that perform acts of random kindness. So to join my kind crew, you'll get inspirational emails from me. You'll always know when my podcast episodes are coming out. You get first listen on that. I'm always trying to find ways to give away stuff that I have. You'd be the first one to know about my micro course on self-care. When I offer free yoga classes, you'll be the first to know. So you can go to marleyq.com and click join my kind crew. And it's as easy as entering your name and your email, and I'll email you back. You could, and we can stay connected that way. That's the easiest way. Instagram is the social platform that I'm most active on, but I also I'm on, Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. I'm sorry, I can't communicate in such short spurts, but but I'd love to connect with you. And definitely, if you join my kind crew, that's the best way to stay connected.
Okay, and we have Amy saying she's a Parker.
Yeah, of course you are. If you're watching this, you're a Parker. High five each other. High five, Parkers. High five, Parkers. Hugs.
Yes, yes, yes. What type of advice can you give to someone who may be struggling in that area in terms of dealing with the pandemic, or in terms of, they've been sitting on idea but they're like, oh, not now, I have to get some equipment. What type of advice, or at least one piece of advice, you could give someone in that situation?
Is what's the first small step you can take?
Mm-hmm.
As a planner, actually, I like to say I'm a recovering event planner. I'm not planning events right now, so I'm a recovering event planner, a recovering lover of schedules and routines and structure. I'm trying to also grow and expand, and trying not so much as let that part of me go, because I love that part of me. That's a skill and a talent that I have. But try and expand and let go a little bit of our need to achieve perfection.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Because, and I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me and all of us at the same time, because I struggle with this too. The first step is just thinking of what is the first small thing that I can do to help me move towards this big, daunting, overwhelming thing that I want to get perfect. What's the first thing that we can do? For me, with my podcast, I saw that as a huge, overwhelming, daunting project. And I had all sorts of obstacles, self-obstacles, environmental obstacles. I need the right equipment, I need the right microphone, and I need to make sure that I'm consistent with it every week, and I need to make sure that I get the right people on my show, and I need to make sure. Right? So if you feel me on that, what I did was I asked myself, what's the first thing that I can do to at least feel like I'm making a little progress, to try and start kind of getting out of my own way. And for me, that was reaching out to a fellow Parker, someone that's part of my kind crew, and saying, hey, are you available for lunch? And she sat down with me. She made time, like within an hour, we were having lunch. I was in her area. And she talked to me for an hour. And I heard from someone outside of that jar reminding me
Mm.
of my superpower, reminding me of why I believe spreading this message is important, why I've dedicated so much time to doing that in this way. And now the universe is kind of shifting me into challenging me into sharing it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the first thing that I can do to start doing that in a way that feels achievable, in a way that feels, and when I say achievable, I mean not that it's achievable like, yeah, duh, anyone can start a podcast these days. No. I meant, do you believe that you are able to achieve it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it achievable? Are you able to achieve it?
Mm-hmm.
And if you believe that you are able to achieve whatever it is that you set out to, we're already more than halfway there. What you need to ask yourself is, what's the first baby step? What's the first small thing that I can do to move forward? And for me, it's usually talking to somebody else about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because hearing someone else's perspective, someone that's going to be non-judgmental, not trying to give me advice and tell me what to do, right? The right people.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to like kind of tell you how to live your life. I see red flags whenever people tell me what I should do. It's like, I just want, kind of kindness reflected back. That helps. That helps to just start, relying and trusting someone else to remind you of how awesome you are and remind you of why that thing you want to do is so important to you. And what's the first step that you can do in order to get there? Is it seeking someone's help? Is it, ordering something on Amazon and trying out, listen, for me, video and recording my voice a couple of years ago brought panic, anxiety, and stress. Nobody believes me now. Marty, you're a natural. And I feel like, no, but that wouldn't be very kind. But that's what I feel like.
Yes.
Because it's taken practice. I downloaded Snapchat for the love of God, and I started like just creating dumb videos, and I started hitting record on Facebook Live and telling people, listen, I'm trying to get over this thing. I'm sweating. I hate this, but I need help. I need to get over this fear because there's this big thing that I want to do, and I don't know how I'm going to get there if I can't get past this thing, this fear. I started recording my voice on voice memos and hearing it back and be like, until I can tap into some kindness and be like, it's okay. You know what? Other people like your voice.
Yeah.
And I'll repel some people, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that, right? So that would be, in a long-winded way, sorry, answered your question. My beautiful friend that asked is, I would just ask myself, what is the next step? What's the first baby thing, small thing that I can do in order to make some progress? Awesome. And then once you do that, what's the next thing that I can do?
Yeah.
Little steps.
Keep it going. Absolutely.
Not the big thing, not the big, cheeseburger and bite all at once. Like a good friend of mine said, you're not trying to eat the whole cheeseburger in one bite. Eat it.
Absolutely. So, if you had access to a time machine, where would you go, past or present? Curveball.
Past or future, you mean?
Well, yeah, past or future.
Because the present is the one that we all kind of
have a
challenge with.
We can skip right
staying here.
Yeah.
Staying here. I really think I'd go to the future. I'm not. I've really moved past being someone that dwells much on the past. Sometimes I like to visit the past. My little sister is so awesome, and my big sister too. They like reliving memories. They videotape everything. God, we're so different. I only started videotaping things when I had a child. I'm like, oh, he would appreciate this. I should do this for him and record things. But I don't think I would go to the past and try and change anything. I think I'd go to the future just out of curiosity. I'd want to see, where we'd end up, and then try and get back on that time machine and come to the present so I could maybe make some different choices and affect the future.
Yes.
I think that's where I would go.
Yes, absolutely. Marley Q, is wonderful having you here. Congratulations on your pregnancy. Your family's growing. You're glowing.
Thank you. I may be sweating a little bit, but
No, no, it was just really wonderful having you on. I'm so glad I was reached out. I know you're doing great things in the community. Whenever I can, I do attend some of your things, and I think I remember seeing a couple of those videos. Like, I got to get online. I'm trying to get comfortable, and I love that, and I definitely relate to that. For me, that's part of one of the many reasons I started the circle, because I'm like, I have stuff to do, but I'm not prepared. How can I, So,
Kudos to you. Acknowledge that, right?
yeah,
Let's not fly past that. See that and be
yeah,
like, man, good job. Like,
yeah,
great job. Good for you. Because that's
yeah,
what it takes. That's what it takes in order for you
absolutely.
to get to the point where people are like, man, how do you do that? You're so good. You're such a natural.
Yeah,
Or were you following me 4 years ago when I was like,
yeah. My hair is like this or something, that everything is off. But and also just knowing so many wonderful people, and I'm just so grateful to be connected and get those stories to other people, and hopefully people check out what you have to offer. I know we're running out of time, but you kind of mentioned the yoga a little bit, but I know you do virtual yoga. Um,
now.
so yeah,
as
absolutely.
as of a month ago, I do virtual yoga.
Yes.
Yes, I would love to invite anyone that's watching. I'm actually celebrating my 6th year as a yoga teacher.
Wow. Congrats.
Yeah, I am an RYT 500, which means I'm a 500-hour registered yoga teacher. I've gone through 2 certifications, specifically to teach beginners, people who were like me, who were like, I don't do yoga. I'm not a yogi. I don't want to do that. Really teach the basics, the foundations, the things that to me have been such a blessing and such a gift in my life. I feel compelled to share that. I only became a
Mm,
teacher because I had this sense of responsibility to teach other people these very simple, practical ways that you can improve your own self-being, that you can transform not just, your mind and this chatter, constant chatter that we have, but how
mhm,
can we befriend that chatter? How can we befriend our bodies and love the body that we're in?
mhm.
And you don't need to turn into a pretzel or stand on your head or look like a Instagram yogi in order to practice yoga effectively in your life. So to celebrate my 6-year anniversary, I'm offering a free virtual yoga class next week, Tuesday, May 19th at noon. So if you're able and willing to step outside of your comfort zone and join me virtually, please, please, please reach out to me. You can actually go on my website, marleyq.com. It's under upcoming events and register, and you'll get the Zoom link to join. It's absolutely free. There's no pitch or catch or anything at all. Just come and enjoy making some time to be kind to you. You deserve it. We all need it. So you're invited.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. And I'm popping in the link right now for anyone who is on the live. We're going to watch it later.
Thank
Um,
you.
yes, absolutely. LaDonna said, thank you so much for sharing. This has been so awesome. Yes, thanks for joining us. Absolutely. And G said, another great interview. Thank you so much. Marley Q, of course, it was an honor and a pleasure to have you on the circle tonight. I really hope everything, wish the best for your, new ventures. I'm going to be looking out. I'll see what I'm doing the 19th, because I've been doing a little bit more and more, some yoga. And it's just, I laughed because that's kind of where I'm at in my journey in terms of like being, learning mindfulness and soft belly breathing and grounding and all those things. So I just love that, it's kind of, in the same hemisphere of some of the things that you shared tonight. So
Absolutely. It's a
yes, yes,
personal invitation to you. Just like you invited me to this beautiful circle, I invite you onto my beautiful circle as well. Thank you so much
yes,
for inviting me to be here today. Thank you for everyone that's watching live or later. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for being a part of this circle that inspires, that connects, that engages with people authentically. I really appreciate it.
absolutely. So we have Sylvia. So enjoyed tonight's guest. Thank you for being here, Sylvia. And Tabitha, oh, she said, yet another wonderful circle interview. I signed up on Marley Q and joined the kind crew. Excited to get updates.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
Tabitha. We're at the
Absolutely.
party.
I know.
Thank you.
Yes. So for those of you who are watching live, whether you're on Facebook under Niki Lopez Creative, if you're on Outclick Magazine, if you're on YouTube or Periscope, thank you so much for being here live with us tonight. Those who watch it on the replay, thank you for watching it. Definitely leave your comments. Marley Q will have access to answer them. I will have access to answer them. Please share this out. Tag people, spread the word. There's a lot of great information tonight, and you could help be that change for someone else to spark. You could be the spark. Absolutely. So, all right. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night. Thanks.